This is Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. I recently read a book about a midwife from the 18th century. It was fiction, but historical fiction. She was a real person and she kept a journal, and she was a midwife, and the entries were often two or three sentences at the end of every day. And she had a little shorthand summary. She lived in Maine, and so it would be something like, cold today, checked on Dolly's fever, make sure it was gone, I was home. Stuff like that. If she went somewhere, obviously she would say where she went, but very sort of to the point. She didn't really talk about her feelings. I don't know. It just got me thinking how interesting it was, because the book was written from a lot of the notes and the information that she put in this journal, which she kept these journals for years. And it also kind of made me think about modern day bullet journaling. I kind of tried bullet journaling, but it didn't really work for me at the time. But now I feel like I could try a different sort of slant on it. We know that hope and generosity and other things are renewable resources. So what if we wrote out one sentence at the end of each day just to kind of keep our little hope muscles going, right? So I thought of several different things that you could use. I think it would be fun to pick one of these and just get into the discipline and the habit of writing this one sentence at the end of every day. Obviously, gratitude is the first one that comes to mind. I think a lot of us are used to some sort of a gratitude journal, or just keeping a note about gratitudes. Lots of planners now have a place for you to put in like what you're grateful for that day, which is great. But I have found some other ones. Another one I think would be interesting would be a growth moment. Like, what if you had to really sit down and think every single day, where or how did I grow today? Where did I step outside my comfort zone? Another one might be future dreams. Imagine what might happen if you were sitting down at the end of every day and sort of dreaming about what the next day or the next month or years could be like. I think that could be pretty powerful. Another could be acts of kindness. You could log the acts of kindness that you do for other people. Just imagine what kind of world would it be if all of us were making sure we did one act of kindness every single day so our journal wouldn't be empty. I have a feeling that would be we could see big changes there. Another one might be small victories. For some of us that are really hard on ourselves, I think this would be a game changer to acknowledge one thing at the end of every day that you did really well. Another one that came to mind would be something beautiful. Think how fun it would be to sit down and just think about what was the most beautiful thing I saw today. I would probably end up with multiple entries about my cats or the hummingbirds or things like that. But that's okay. The practice, I think, would be kind of fun and interesting. Another one could be summoning courage. And this one I really want to think about, because my first instinct was, how can I be courageous every day? I don't think I would have something that would fit, right? So I'm going to come back and think on that one, because maybe that's the one I really should work on. I don't know. The last one I'm going to leave you with, obviously, is hope related, which is a hopeful moment. What if you just sat down at the end of every day and thought about what happened that day that brought you a little bit of hope? Just a few minutes a day spent reflecting on something positive, something meaningful, writing that one sentence, I think over time could be a big game changer. And I hope that you'll just give it a shot. I'm going to try it and just challenge yourself. Maybe just do it for like 10 days or so and see how you feel. See what kind of comes up. Hope and kindness and courage and gratitude and all of those kinds of things, they're renewable and never-ending resources for us to use. Let's take advantage of that. I'll be back later with another episode.